So let's start tonight. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our 9:30 live Facebook every Wednesday with very interesting topic that we talk about. Last week, you all remember what we talked about last week? We talked about Top Glove. That's right, the 360-degree analysis in focus, Top Glove, and that did pretty well. Top Glove went up 10% because of Supermax, clocking another 10% growth in there. Hata did pretty well in there. Will we see for Penta what we saw for Top Glove, the rubber glove industry? What do you think? All right, give me a thumbs up if you think this thing is going to go up or not. But I think unlikely lah, because remember, the Top Gloves was in the COVID-19 kind of industry and the PPE. For those of you who don't know what I talk about, PPE are the personal protection equipment. I did talk about one of those talk way back 3 or 4 weeks ago. Do go over to the youtube.com/TradeVSA and look out for that video when I talk about some of the stocks we talk about. And some of those shares have already moved up higher in there. All right. So now we are looking at Penta Master. Hasn't moved up yet. All right. Hasn't moved up yet. So we're going to be using also Roby to do a lot of our analysis and leg room for that one, right? Now Zul asks, is this Facebook being recorded? Yes, it is. So you can always come back and watch. I know some of you are busy, need to go out with your family. It is still Hari Raya, right? Okay, Hari Raya to all my Muslim friends inside, I know, but again, now we are very hardworking one, okay? You can keep it in the live FD, come back and watch it, or you go over to YouTube/TradeVSA and subscribe, so you're able to watch it. So let's get on to Penta Master, all right? So again, be part of our, how many of you are listening for the first time? If you're listening for the first time, just type 1. If you're listening for the first time, just type 1 in there. And we have more than 3,000 over Telegram followers. So all the insights that we talk about in here, what time is our live FB goes up, we have live FB every day, what are the stocks, what does Smart Roby look at. So join for our TradeVSA trading ideas in here. We'll keep you updated for very insightful, both fundamental, technical, and also news driven. And that's what we are, all right? And also subscribe to our YouTube channel in here. That's the one on the, let me just get the pen here. Okay, let me get my pen here. Yes. My highlighter, that's right, my laser bar. So this is the post-COVID. We have ventilators, those of you, and broken way. I got one of my old client call me up. He said that, hey Martin, the market already gone up so much, time to sell, KLCI. So I said, hey, you should look at some of the videos that are done in there, what sectors to look at, how to become aggressive, how to become defensive, depending the formality of what you are. Do watch them and also give me your feedback, all right? So let's go on. Now, don't forget, post MCO, we're coming up to a 31st of May 2020. We are still going on live, over the Hari Raya weekend and the long thing. I think many of you may not have gone back to your hometown because of the, restriction of the CMCO. No problem. No problem. All right. You can still watch us 9:30 live every night, except for Wednesday. I'm on duty to do this and present this to you. But then the rest are done by Zach. We do the stock analysis and also review. So make sure you get it. Hi, Govina. Those are first time listening. Hi, Connie. Hi, Mohammad Shah. Hi, Kama. Hi, Shafiq. Zafiri, Hari. Okay, good. You're first timer, right? No problem. Watch our thinking here. So we try to support you as much as we can using Roby and using some of the data analytics that we have. All right. Thank you very much, people, for coming. Okay, let's move on. Also, don't forget our Smart Roby in here is the top trending on the finance app in Google Play Store. So if you have not got it, go over to the Google Play Store and download a copy. It is completely free, just like Technical Fundamental Sentiment, except tonight, the creator of Smart Roby is here with you to present to you this company 7160 Penta Master. That's right, all right. So if you don't have it, download it, and please do me a favor. Please share these apps with your friends, with your colleagues, so you can get 200 credit free for yourself and also for them in here. That way you can use it more and more of Smart Roby, becoming smarter. All KLSC investing essential in one app. All right, that's it. Okay, so get the free credit 200 when you share with you, and your friend also get too. Okay, also Selamat Hari Raya, post Selamat Hari Raya, we do have an offer, the TradeVSA package. I think tonight will be, we got another 2 more hours or so, then the offer will be a promotion. 12 months plus 2 months free. We got a few sales, a few people did inquire about our package, whatever, you get the Smart Roby is separate. Smart Roby is, you can do it for free, but our TradeVSA is our real-time system that you see on the TradeVSA, and also many of our very powerful screeners. So that some of you may say that, hey, I wanted something much more powerful, and I upgrade to that. All right, so whenever you're ready, you can upgrade it. Okay, but those of you who are ready, do it tonight because you have 2 months free. Okay. Meanwhile, all right, let's do it. Let's do the meanwhile. Okay, so meanwhile, we have 5 known facts. Okay, I always start my talks just to get you in the perspective, where we are, sort of, knowing it, especially those of you who come in here, what's happening now, right now? Is the market up? Is the market down? So by knowing this fact, meanwhile, you will get what I'm talking about. So for number 1, all right, I think many of you know Donald Trump, all right, is going on to another one of his ranting fake news on Twitter. You can get inside there, but he did know that, look, all right, they already have 4 bills. Okay, let me just show you what I mean. Bring it up here. So they already have passed 4 bills, okay, to respond to the coronavirus, but tak cukup. They need more money, so they're going to have another physical stimulus. I'm going to explain about physical plus monetary stimulus later. Very easy to understand one, right? So this stimulus means they're going to pump more money into the economy. Then the next question you ask, where got money? Same thing Malaysia also doing, right? Malaysia is pumping 200 billion out there, right? So what does it mean? It means we borrow from the future, we pay now. That's right. So this is how economy solve their problem in here. So more money going to the market. That's why you're seeing Dow going higher, not going lower. But to be frank with you, I'm still waiting for the pullback, which I want to see. I was hoping to see in May, which you remember, sell in May and go away, but it didn't come this round. So this round, this year, no one talks about it. No one talks about sell in May and go away. I was already talking in April. I wanted to see a correction coming. So if you see that correction, then I'm going to buy. There's no correction. Market continue to go higher. And I'm going to show you what I mean in here. Number 2, Bursa is riding on a trading wave. The 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave. Now also there's Elliott wave. Some of you may heard of wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. I think we are still at wave 1 only. We haven't even gone to wave 2 and wave 3 yet, if we have this economic growth. But I don't think we KLCI, for being what it is, have a chance to move up to wave 2 and wave 3. Again, that is just from the Elliott wave. For us, we look at the price, we look at the volume. Right now, I'm just interested to see whether the foreign funds are coming or not. But definitely Bursa is riding on the trading wave. And then the third known fact, let me just get my cup of tea here, and I hope you get yours too, right? The third known fact is Penta Master is venturing into the ventilator, and that's caused a lot of excitement, especially among the semiconductors. If you look back 2 to 3 years ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, everyone is trying to get into the ventilator because they say that, look, many people will be, out of breath because of the COVID-19. We see many cases, and Malaysia got maybe something like 5,000 or 6,000 ventilator, but actually only 20% use. So there's also an oversupply in that. But this has got everybody excited. They don't know whether there will be a second wave or not. Maybe the country may go on into what we call buying surpluses as a storage of ventilators. Ventilators are used in COVID-19 when their lungs cannot help to breathe themselves. So they're put onto ventilators. And you can see in the earlier stages in Italy and in Spain, ventilators are now. But you all know, right now when you're reading, Latin America is the new epicenter of COVID-19. In Brazil, in Peru, in Nicaragua, India. These are the one that, but these are all third world country merging. They cannot afford to pay the very expensive American one. So that's why, I think Penta Master is looking this merging market to have a chance to buy, to really sell some of this. Country, all this third world country, they won't buy the high end one, just like buying Ferrari. They're going to buy country from perhaps Malaysia. So that's where Penta Master is causing. This news came out on Saturday. If you haven't picked it up yet, go over to fb.com/smartroby and look for Penta Master in here. So that caused it. So let's examine the news first, okay? Since you don't have to look at it, let's examine the news. Now, for a start, they are redesigning the prototype. I think many of you started 3 or 4 weeks ago when the UK, a lot of people find that not enough ventilators. Then they're looking into design. Even those with 3D printer are trying to build one ventilator. But more important is this keyword here, relevant healthcare, health authority, and relevant certification. Okay, this is the one first hurdle, okay, they need to overcome, which is certification. If they're going to sell, they have to come up from the Department of Health at least, so they have to work with that. So this project is not going to, like, this sekarang they design, end of the year they dapat. I think they have the technical expertise, but the healthcare is a problem. Third thing is that, which we talk about, merging markets. Now so the opportunity here, if we examine, right, now we know the Latin America. You know where Latin America is, right? Okay, Brazil, okay, Argentina, okay. This sounds like football, isn't it? Peru, okay. What else? Peru, Argentina, then also the above one, Nicaragua, Venezuela, okay, Venezuela, and the list goes on, Venezuela. So all these are in deep problem. You notice, Latin America, also, especially Brazil, they have one president, also one, a bit like Donald Trump one, who believe in the chloroquine. So India has already approved that drug also too. But you all also notice there are many problems associated that the WHO pull it out too. So right now they're targeting this group. Who knows if it comes out that this gentleman here, all right, this gentleman is Mr. Chua, okay. And we're going to come to CB Chua, Usually CB Chua are typically the names that goes when they work in Penang. Now, how many of you are from Penang? I was from Penang and I work in Intel Technology. As a matter of fact, one of the co-founder called himself TB Tan. He also is from Intel. We may have, worked together before back in Intel. Back when my first job, I was just an engineer coming out. I actually worked for Intel. And also Inari, remember one of the bosses inside there, right? Also from Intel and Broadcom, Tan Hock is also one of those earlier innovators during the free trade zone back in the early 1990s and year 2000. So these are all the groups of people who really founded that area there. All right. So some interesting fact. Okay, let me just erase this because you can't see it. Okay, let me just take out this one in here. Okay, all right. Okay, now you can see it better. Okay, now what I want to highlight here is also how big is the market size. Of course, this kind of market size, some people say it's nice to know about, but 2000.4 to 12.1 billion, you can see that size grown almost 5 times. Okay, so the market share for ventilators has grown up. No price for guessing because of COVID-19. It's growing at the same rate in 14. So ventilators, one industry. Then you have the rubber glove, one industry. But all these are what we call the COVID-19. Now, some of you may know this thing might die off, but remember, we still need to have a vaccine. So far, I think Thailand has some sort of a mini vaccine. Japan has another one. Malaysia is trying to work with whoever we can. India is going to have another one. So all these vaccines so far, none of them is really so-called the game changer. It may work, it may not work, but then again, we still have some ventilator. But until the world where we see one size for all, what we call vaccine and recommended by WHO, then we say that, hey, we don't need the ventilators. But right now, I do think there is a potential. What do you think, right, about the ventilators? Do share with me what you think of that. VS, okay, we are not doing VS now. Anju, okay. Okay, later we talk about VS, okay? Right now, we are talking, hey, Paul, nice to see you again. So here is where we talk about the growth rate, here, COVID-19. So again, foreign funds continue to sell less. So going forward, we see Indonesia are making a comeback. If, this kind of a statements in here, right, it's just nice to know, lah. I mean, there's no truth to it. If you really ask me, COVID-19 is like something become positive and they try to find a reason, right? If you look at it, if foreign funds don't come in, then they will say, hey, this is because of the what we call a change of government. The background, the political situation has not changed. All right, which means you can see the current government may be swapped out because of the what? Remember? The confidence, the word of confidence, because our ex-Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir already said whenever they have parliament, he is going to question the vote of no confidence over the current government, which is led by the 8th Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin. So this is again a problem. So right now, the foreign funds flows are selling less, okay? And I'm going to show you what I mean here. So if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 things. So you notice in here, this is a KLCI. If you've been following me every week, right, you'll notice this KLCI continue to move up. If you look at it, they are pretty much stable, stable on net selling, okay, net selling here. If you look at this, please don't look at the right hand side chart, look at the left hand side chart, which is about what? Minus 200 million net outflow, okay, net outflow, right? But there was a positive, just plus 1 only. So you can see that's why they are saying, hey, you know, they are selling less and the market's moving up is because they contain the COVID-19. Do you think so? Right? Today they have, I heard today they have less cases, only 14 cases. Maybe I think they didn't submit the detention camp one. Cannot be from 180 something, 170 something, jump to 14. I haven't read the news yet. Perhaps some of you might want to share on the timeline there and just write a comment about the COVID-19. But you can see here, minus 200 million in here has it's sort of like the net outflow in there. All right, let's look at that. So majority of the bad news are behind us. I think that's very important. If you look back at the chart here, way back on the 12th of April, our Pentagon chart already have a buy signal. Okay, a buy signal way back then. So if you could accumulate, as I said before, you already in the money later. So that's why some of our members realize by using Smart Roby, by using TradeVSA chart, which have a buy and sell signal, that gives you a really edge inside here. But really, now let's look at what's going to happen now. Now we all know that for Malaysia, on the after 9th of June will be out. What is the new world is going to be post COVID-19? What do you think? All right, what do you think? Type it in there. What do you think will be the world post COVID-19 is going to be? Now, this is a very interesting, which was viewed almost 72,000 on April 7th, and this is written on the Forbes. It did say one thing: shop, work, and play online. I think you all know about this, right? It doesn't take a genius to know. But then again, there will be a digital divide. Those of them who don't have internet access or limited internet access, there will be a real digital divide, meaning people who have money and don't have money. Now people are there. But with the home bias, work from home. So this thing about people talking about 5G may not pick up as much as what people are because people are situated at home. But then they can twist it around and say that because of that, you need the 5G because you're constantly moving between your home and your office, home and your office. You need 5G, right? So to me, I think you cannot take away the digital economy because digital economy is here to stay. And on that premise, which will prompt up why Penta Master 7160, the KLC code, is one of the stocks you should look at. All right, let's take a look. Now let's look at the post-COVID-19, which in totality looking at, because before coming to COVID-19, everyone was talking about 5G, IoT, Internet of Things. Now, why this is important? Because big amount of data you can now, for your information, when we built Pentagon Guider and building Smart Roby, now some of you may know, we actually collected a lot. We collected almost 10 years of data, and then we compressed and pounced out almost millions of records to find that right buy signal and sell signal for you. So you can imagine, right? This, what we call the 5G and the IoT, it's really there. But the question is, before the COVID-19, everybody was talking about it. Now, post-COVID-19, what do you think? Tell me, what do you think? Do you think 5G is still going to be going? If you think it is, type 5G or IoT in the reply there. Yep. All right. Hi, Derek. Something that work from home inside here. So this is why we talk about the 5G, where machines will be talking to each other, M to M, machine to machine communication management in here. So having said that, now let's turn our attention to charts, because this is where we actually make money. Right now, the KLCI, we are up almost 1%. Now last week we were about 1440, we are still up 1451 level here. We haven't seen any resistance, and the volumes are piling back in here, right? Definitely on this tomorrow morning, we're going to look at the foreign funds flows and see whether foreign funds flows has come in or not. All right, so you can see the red pentagon was correct on the sell and it was buy on the 12th of April in here, still going through. Now, let's look at the US market right now. US Dow Jones surged higher partly because of the reopening by Donald Trump and also the economic stimulus. And Donald Trump has gone into a re-election campaign while Joe Biden, there was a tweak between them, one the wearing mask one and the one that don't wear mask. The one don't wear mask, we all know lah, Donald Trump. The one that wear mask, we know is Joe Biden. So there's going to be a war between the strong and the weak, and this is a lot of, masculinity against macho. You know who I'm talking about, right? Who's the macho man? But all this will simply lead to one thing: the market's going to go higher. Because why? Right? If you see in terms of stimulus, physical stimulus, we're going to talk about that. But technically, also very important, you see up here. Let me just bring this up to you here. All right. You'll see the market has, from the low right here, the market has gone up 37, almost 38%. And to me, that's a new bull. But you don't hear it a lot. I'm the only so-called market strategist been talking about this new bull. No one's talking about it yet. So it's good that you listen to me and also listen to some other seafood. But at the end, you make up your mind. All right. But so this physical stimulus is very similar to what we all know, the QE, except QE is all monetary. Okay. This monetary means this is use money one. Okay, and this is done by the central banks. Okay, so you can see central banks. So the difference is you got only two way monetary and physical. This is, so you can look at physical versus monetary. Okay, so when the monetary, it creates money and then eventually boosts the economy. You can see these steps in here. So in the very same way, right, physical stimulus is created by the POTOS. Those of you who don't know, POTOS is by the President of the United States. So it's government-centric rather than central bank-centric. So it's just that who is the project manager. In this case, Donald Trump is a project manager. So that's why they're creating all the fiscal stimulus. Just think of that way. Easier to remember. All right. So again, all this thing, and probably you say, hey, Martin, can buy or not, right? Can buy Penta or not? That's the whole talk of tonight. Can buy Penta or not? So right now we have to know this gentleman there. Anybody know who is this gentleman? Right? Please let me know if you know this gentleman. At least try. I've already given you a hint just now already. All right? Okay. Now he's known other than CB Chua. Okay, or Chua Chun Bin. CB Chua is initial. Most of the Intel, workers who used to work in Intel, we call them Intellers. I was an ex-Inteller too. So we call them, my name was still Martin. I didn't use my Chinese name, right? So it's CB Chua. So his tagline is automation. That's right. His tagline is automation in here. So of course, let's look at the Penta Master, the basics. Okay. Of course, every company, if you look at the annual report, they always have this nice vision and mission. Of course, we have to re-examine it, right? It's just like some of you may have gone for your your annual, what we call team building. You re-examine your vision and mission. So here is to provide the keyword automation and service. Now remember last week when we examined Top Glove, they did say the customer is the boss and make sure we don't lose the customer. I think that's very, very important too. All right. So the gentleman CB Chua and in the way with Tan Sri Lim V Chai, they're very similar. They're very, very similar. These guys are hardworking. They are smart, right? And let's look at the difference between those two. All right. Penta Master, no doubt is listed on the Bursa. It also listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. PIL is the short code, stand for Penta Master International Limited. 1665 the code is, okay? Co-founder, there was another founder with Penta Master. It's called TB Tan. Together with him, but he doesn't have as much share as all the limelight, which is CB Chua. He's only 54 years old actually, and the staff they have about 600 employees. Now, if you compare that to Top Glove, which they have 432 lines, make about 78 billion gloves. These guys are small, man. 600 employees, 400 are engineer, and most of them come from USM, right? Any of you from Penang? Okay. If any of you from Penang, just let me know. So you can see these fellas all are very small, and let's look at early education. Those of you from, how many of you from Penang? Okay. How many of you from Penang? If you're from Penang, just type Penang, and if you're from Chongling, just tell me Chongling, okay? There's a lot of very smart people. Some of my good friends are from, because I worked in Penang before, some of my good friends are from Chongling, and they're very smart. And definitely CB, Chua, make it smart. Being where they are. So the early education is important from Penang. Okay, let's move on. He is one of the largest shareholder, almost 20%, and the next one is about EPM. So that tells you he has pretty much the full control of the company. Okay, now two category, just like Mr. Leong here just now mentioned, right? ATE, automated test equipment for IC, integrated chips, IoT, 3D, and also automation. Because what they also feel that Industry 4.0, this term, how many of you heard this term before? Industry 4.0. Now, how many of you, if you heard of this term, Industry 4.0, type it in there, all right? So it's a lot about automation, right? So that is why sometimes, this post-COVID-19, when I re-examine it, it's really what we call a reset. A reset in the way we do our things, reset in the way how we communicate people. We don't touch people for start. I used to shake hands with people. Now, you don't shake hands, you just do this, salam thing, right? And so it's really going to it. So this automation with the post-COVID-19, I think it's going to be reality. You look at the what we call the migrant workers in Malaysia. In Singapore, we look at how many, a few hundreds or thousands of them, right, being infected. So they're going to be using a lot more automation in there. And if you look back, Penta Master started, of course, in this case, is the IC industry. They established back in 1991, 29 years, same time as Top Glove. And 80% of export are to multinational in here. And of course, it ranges anything that use electricity. Sure, they all use the medical devices, beverages for canning, pharmaceutical, and so forth. As long there is a manufacturing process where you go through a conveyor system, some tracking or visual recognition, these fellas all are involved. Okay. Chongling Element located in PJ. Yeah, okay, great. So the three segments that we talk about, all right, just want to go to the three industrial segments. First is the testing. This is their core. I would think these two comprise almost 80% of their revenue. Okay. So these are all the smart sensors, IC. So what they do, they don't actually build chips, okay? They build equipment to do the testing for the IC. Because before anything that you roll out, right, they need to test. Just like the chips, they need to test. Last time I remember when I was in Intel, right, all those tests, they sub it out to Globetronics, whatever. But these fellas, they build the machines. They don't test. They build the machines to build the test. Because before that, you have to buy from States. I can't remember the few names, but they're really, really expensive. Some of these are costing around $500,000 to $1 million a piece. I remember my visit to Notion VTech where they use all those drilling one. One machine is $1 million. There was about 15 of them. This Mr. The executive directors, Mr. To of Notion VTech showed me there's like 15 million. You see it out there. Wow, this is fantastic, man. So same thing, they do this. Then they do next thing is automation. So they use a lot of robots, those kind of robots for manufacturing. Anything that use a lot of humans, they will go into it. That's why they have 400 of those people are engineers inside here. And then finally, it's just more project management. If you cannot handle it, Penta Master said we can do it for yourself. So they bundle it like a solution. Because rather than just selling the equipment, they will say, hey, we'll build it and then we will build it, integrate into a system as part of the smart control solution system in here. All right. So this is what it is. Let's go on to the next one. Now, if we look from a full spectrum of business that Penta Master has, this is all the ICs that they test. Vision, very important, whether the soldering, the chips, especially if the Apple, they have to do a lot of the soldering very well. They have to examine it. So they use a lot of vision, laser marking, of course, customized in epoxy. One of the things they do one is also the microphones, the test for the microphones, okay? Automation is the other area here. That's where the big growth of electric vehicle, EV, okay? This is one of the area in IoT. So these are all the light sensors, okay. LED burning, this is the old one. All LED comes in there, the burning, the old traditional chips, IC chips, and then the finally one, and medical. And don't forget, they have this, they have their own patent. These guys all own their own patent, just like our company, TradeVSA. We have a patent pending for Pentagon Guider. That's the one you see on the TradeVSA. So it's a patent pending. So they do have one for their robotics too. So these guys actually spend a bit of time and into research and development. So you can see a widespread of products automation. So these are the guys you want to call them. Now let's look at some of the financial highlights. It's important why we get interested. You can see there was a big jump. Okay, there was here the big jump in terms of revenue almost grow by 6 times, almost 600% in 5 years. Okay, and they were used to be around 83 million, now is 409. Now no doubt they are 1/10 of Top Glove lah. Top Glove, King Chow man, Top Glove is 4.8 billion, right? Penta Master is only 490 million. Right, but this fella got 600 employees. Okay, Top Glove got 15,000 employees. So you can see how the way manage, and they have 2 plants only in Penta Master and Penang. This fella have 98% of the plant is in Malaysia, 2 in Thailand and 1 in China. All right. Okay, and next you want to know the core earnings are also surged. You notice last year it's only 54 million, now it's 84 million, and they almost don't have any debt at all. So if you like a cash-rich company, which we're going to look at afterwards, or the balance sheet, then you will know better. Now, if you like what I've seen so far, give me a thumbs up. Now, very important in here, they did very well in terms of all areas here, right? The margins are very healthy, the revenue growth are healthy, net earnings are healthy, return on the return on equity is of course year to year is almost 30%. Okay, 30%. Right. Of course these are year to year on the back line, right? But the earnings has grown too. So one of the things that they did very well, if you notice, there are 3 companies actually was featured in 2019, best under 1 billion in terms of revenue growth, highest growth rate, and return to shareholder. Elsoft, Pentamaster, and Vitrox. Now, how many of you have all these 3 stocks? If you have all these 3 stocks, right, just type, I have all 3. Okay, just let me know. Now, of course, the main focus is on Chua. Now, why I bring this up is very important. One of the companies I visited a long time ago was it's a rubber glove industry. I think some of you may heard of it. I talk about it. Is Riverstone. Now Riverstone is AP4, the stock code in Singapore. I visited them in a couple, I think almost about 4-5 years ago in Rawak, and they were one of the first also. 2015 or 2012, can't remember the exact year. They were also worked under as Forbes Best Under 1 Billion. And why I bring this out? I found out about this fact 2012. Right now, this stock has doubled. And again, these guys are voted in 2019. So what I'm trying to say, is there a correlation what I saw when Riverstone was best under 1 billion in 2012 or early on, and the stock price has grown, and now can we apply to Elsoft, Pentamaster, and Vitrox? What do you think? Do you see a potential of this stock price to double in 5 years time? What do you think? Right? And this is the point inside. Forbes don't simply just go and look at these few companies here. There are reasons. Of course, tonight we're just looking at Penta Master, right? 7160 in here. Elsoft and Vitrox, we will look at for another session. And again, all these are Penang night people. They are very hardworking, I know, because I was working in Intel before, and some of these are my seniors. Okay, so judging from that, all right, let's move on. So in terms of revenue, you can see, right, it's 1/10 of the Top Glove, which is about 4.8. But you can see the growth is tremendous. Whether can they grow or not. So that's why today they brought out the ventilators, right? CB Chua, which is their executive chairman, okay? He's a very hungry man, and he's always looking for growth. Am I right? All right? Double up in 5 years. So he's always looking for growth. You can see, right? 83. Right? This one is double, isn't it, right? 151, almost double, isn't it? You see the sales? Okay? then 280, 280, 280, 500 lah, there, double with it lah. So you can see it take 2 years, right? So from 490 to 1 billion, I mean, just doing extrapolation lah, 4 years. Give and take. So that's why he's going for the ventilators. Do why I say this makes sense or not, ladies and gentlemen? If why I say it makes sense, type 1 billion sales in 4 years. Type it in there, 1 year in 4 billion. So I don't look so much from profit, because profit is something you can play around with it, appreciation, whatever. But that growth, and CB Chua as executive chairman, he is what we call a hungry lion. Okay, so you think he's a hungry lion, type hungry lion, right? Yeah, $1 billion sales. So this is why we see the potential in 4 years time, they want to hit 1 billion there. And if you see that one, your stock price today is 461, is going to grow up. Again, I'm painting a very rosy picture on the premise of post-COVID-19 growth 2 years from now or 4 years from now. But we're going to look at the facts inside there, all right? Now, let's look at the financial statement ending 31st of March. Okay, this is more recent. This thing came out on 15th of May, so it's very recent. Okay, 2020. Oh, so sorry. 2020. Okay, 2020. And you notice for start, the revenue for the group, that was a decrease, 14.3 for compared to last year. Now, of course, this is on the back of COVID-19, all right, and it's going to be impacted too. So right now there was a decrease approximately profit of 13.5%. So this perhaps is an opportunity where the sales dip, but if the sales were to pick up in 2021, hopefully it's going to. So the point is very simple. We have to buy on bad news with uncertainty. Okay, that's the picture I'm painting. It's not going to be a very rosy picture that tells you everything's good and you buy, like Top Glove, right? Which is everything rosy is going to buy. So this is the picture in. But one thing good about this also, do take note, it has a lot of cash. Okay, here you can see 304 million cash. There was another company I found out today. I think I've posted on the Smart Roby, 189 million. Wow, a lot of money, these fellas all. Bank deposit. 313. Last December was 304. Wow, you see now got how many? 9 million more extra. Wow, in 3 months they make 9 million extra million. Cash, no. Remember, they don't have debt, no, so they don't pay banks. 300 million, no. Oh, a lot of money, right? So if you like a company, they have 300 million. Let's say 300 million, 2% 2%, apa itu? 2% FD. I calculate 300 million times 313. Okay. Oh, betul ke? 6 million. 6 million a year. Just on fixed deposit. The other by, 6 million, enough already. So 6 million divided by 12 lah. That's a lot of money, man. Correct? Just on FD. Of course, you don't want them to use this for fixed deposit. Of course, if it's your money, it's good. But my point is, they have to use this money to do acquisition. They have to go out and buy. So when they buy anything else, just pay note. These are all the... So ventilators, they're going to be looking for these smaller companies to buy them up in there. So keep track, because this is going to impact how the management look at the things to go. Right? Now let's look at the debt. You can see, right? Total debt is only 3 million only. Very, very small. Right? You can see effective rate only 4.55. 3 million in here within 1 year. The longest, more than 5 years. Between 2 to 3 years. So you would say like 70 to 80%, okay, is more than 2 to 5 years, which is very, very small. That's why it's very negligible. Very good, well-run company in here. Now, if you look at Roby, this is Roby, as you can see, Penta 22nd of May, it is 88%. Okay, 88%. This was closing. Today was up. Today is 460 something. Okay, and the market is bullish because it turned bullish. Now, if you follow the Pentagon way back in 5th of May and bought at that time, you shouldn't be out because there's no red Pentagon. It's above the ATR stop loss. You can see, let me just move back here. This is above the ATR stop loss. So if you're running, just run this. This is for longer term, and you are up almost 11%. All right. And another interesting matter is if you look back over to 2008, the back test, okay, number of trades, it has a winning percentage of 71, almost 71%. So which means every time when the Penta comes out, it is correct 71% of the time, and it looks back at the last 7 trades so far. All right. So this is very interesting fact that where you can actually buy with a little bit of confidence using the green pentagon when you see it. Okay. So let's look at the growth rate. Now remember, I brought back, now this company started back in 1991. So of course you can stretch this back to 2011. What I want to just talk about is the period when it started to run in 2014. All right, this is where we saw our market recover 2009, correct here, 2009, the market it sort of move out. And then there is one sort of event that Donald Trump came in at this time, okay, here, because this was important. And then the China incident came here. Okay, this is the US-China trade war. Because the Trump administration and US-China trade war actually makes why Penta Master grow the way it grows. If you look at it, this stock has grown how much? 7,000% from here, which is 10 cents, to as high as 485. Now it's doing 460, of course, right? Which is 7,262%. That's a lot, right? And hopefully I don't want Bloomberg to write about this company. Isn't it? If Bloomberg write about this company, this stock should come down, you know. So make sure you don't. So of course, but the incident that came in is 2016, right? But the US-China trade war has an implication on Penta Master. This is my personal opinion, okay? Because they make a lot of test equipment, and then all of a sudden that China cannot buy from US because of the sanctions, and also US cannot really want to buy from China lah. So where did they go to? They go to a local test equipment manufacturer, which is Penta Master, and that's why it did so well, and that's why the stocks went from went over almost compounded growth, 1 year, each year 90% growth. This is the one that I think one of our coaches, Marina, bought and made about 600%, depending on what price they bought at the time. I never got this stock for the fact it did not pay dividend, and that's it. So this is something, you look at it. So if you look at this, the US-China trade war has made possibility to become what Penta Master it is. And as long as Trump going to win another 4 more years, you might see this continue, because Penta Master has made into other areas of growth too, like the 5G and the IoT too. Okay, now let's look at the insider holdings. There are 2 chuas which almost holds somewhere between almost 25 to 26%. You can see here the 2 chuas. Right? They are not related. They're just chua. Chua Chunbing and Chua Chong Yu. All right. If you combine these two, they are almost about 25%, and EPF has another 4%, close to about 5%. So this company in terms of it are quite stable. A lot falls into the shoulder of this man, CB Chua. All right. So it's good to know that as long as handling the opportunity comes for him, that he can grow, just like the ventilator. He's very hungry. He's like a hungry lion, always looking for opportunities. Okay. Oh, Marina have 700%. That's right. Thank you, Marina. Okay, 700% growth on Penta Master in here. And so let's talk about, of course, like it or not, people want to see whether this stock got chance to go higher or not. We talk about the 2-year growth, doubling of the revenue, 4-year or maybe 5-year doubling of revenue. Can this guy grow? Does it? Now, CB Chua said that in his annual report, right? By 2030, 800 million global workforce will be replaced by robotic automation. How many think this is quite true, right? I know this is quite sad, right? Even right now, Smart Roby is part of that automation that we are doing too in ourselves. So I use Roby to replace me. In the past, a lot of the members or some of the public, this stock can buy. So right now, just ask Roby. It's the same what I'm going to be looking at, what Roby looks at it. Okay. So The next wave of growth is important. IoT, Internet of Things. Do you believe it? 5G. All right. Is everyone going to be 5G? I have not bought the Samsung 5G yet. I saw the big advertisement on the North-South Highway in there. How many of you got the Samsung 5G? But can our network handle it? Self-drive car, we're talking about Tesla. That they are, I heard today Tesla is changing the price of the car. Right now, the price of those EV cars are very pricey. Self-drive car, eventually they will come in. Uber took a hit. They had to cut some stuff in there, but I think they are here to stay. All right. And then also automation of all forms. Anything he can automate, CB12 will be out there to automate. And then they have their own proprietary intelligent automatic robotic manufacturing system, which is like what we are trying to do with Pentagon. We're trying to, persuade, look, you don't have to learn about market timing. You use Pentagon Guide. Pentagon Guide may not be right all the time, right? But in the case of Penta Master, we are right 70% of the time over the last, 3 years, right? At least let's give you some sort of confidence, to go in and see going forward. You remember, you cannot make money based on what you know today. Okay, all those balance sheets are just sort of good to know. Wow, Pentamaster has 313 million. Okay, if you put in a fixed deposit and 2%, they're earning 6 million a year. Okay, all right. But you don't look at that. You have to see where the wave grow. IoT, 5G, and self-drive car and all this, right? Okay, AI is really the future. So this is what I talk about. So that's why early on I said about if you are an engineer, you have a technology background, this is the area to go. And those of you who are listening now, who have children and about to send your children to universities, do consider some of this area here, all right? The oil and gas, it's something you want to do 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I know some of my students or clients of my, they send them to do petrol engineering, chemical engineering, but that's the old era already. Now it's electric. Electric vehicle, okay. All right, so Teslas is to come, all right? Right. Okay, so now let's look at the market growth. We talk about the post-COVID-19. Here you can see these are all very rosy forecasts by PwC, Pricewaterhouse. It says that about the opportunity in the global semiconductor research. OSD stands for Outsourced Assembly and Test, which is, I think, Goptronics. They are doing it very well. EMS, we heard of this, right? EMS, Dysons. They make all those, what are the Dysons? The Denko, the old name, ATA, IMS. Then we have the VS, you have the SKP, okay, those are the EMS for the Dysons. Because nowadays you notice all these big companies, they're not going to be building this EMS to someone else and they earn the margin and you get the, James Dyson coming up on TV, on YouTube to use his, apa itu? Vacuum cleaner and try to sell it to you, okay? My son love the Dyson too. I saw the latest, the hair dryer one, and wow, that one really expensive, man. $2,000 for a hair dryer and a curler. I don't know about you, man. I won't buy. FOT, okay. Yeah, so you can see post-COVID will really depends on the 5G pickup now, okay? So, because no one is talking about post-COVID right now, okay? People are only talking about vaccine. Betul kan? Vaccine and maybe Trump re-election. Okay. So I want to take your focus way back from the vaccine and because the COVID is going to pass. 1 year or 2 years from now, we will look back in our history book and say, wow, that was a tough one. I survived because I stay at home or I work from home, okay? But we have to look forward. Where is the 5G opportunity? Whether there is an increase of demand for this equipment, Either we got it or don't, okay? And again, this is where I want to see the 5G sale. Next one is the very good opportunity is the US-China trade war. Now, this US-China trade war, right now people did say, and you will find in the media, this has turned to a Cold War. Used to be in the 1969, okay? 1969 was between US and Russia. Okay, now 2020 is going to be US and China. Because US, under the leadership of Trump, right, he is not taking it down to let China take lead. Even the recent news that you see in Hong Kong. He also want to, go in and kacau kacau. Right? So with the US-China trade war coming in, basically China cannot buy from US. All those types of equipment. And US cannot buy from China because they want faith. So Penta fit in the middle. So for the next 2 years, now he call it the trade diversion. This is from one of the news clipping that CB Chua was talking about. And then finally, the third opportunity going forward, which is this one, the post-COVID, which is going to be, I do think this is going to be a digital economy based on what we have seen. What do you think? Work from home, digital divide, work, play, and shop all online, right? The other day I went to Bandar Utama, this where I live by in Petaling Jaya. To go in, you have to queue up and you have to do all the scanning and temperature. It's not really a pleasant thing. I rather just, really want to shop, I go to Lazada and buy, right? So the digital economy, e-commerce, and a lot that's going to evolve on semiconductors. What we talk about M to M, machine to machine. Do I say this makes sense? Okay, if I say this makes sense, give me a thumbs up, all right? So Penta Master, if you look very deeply, all in all, from the Pentagon, it is a reason. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why and 5 reasons don't. All right. So don't take my word for it. Just look at the reason and you see what fits you. All right. Now on Penta, news-wise, right, all the bad news is already come out. You see here, share lower on lower profit. That was 18th of May. 15th of May may rebound. Rise on technical outlook in here. Oh, someone initiated coverage. That's on 31st of March. 445. Okay, now it's already 460. Okay, 445 was the fair value. Now it's 460. So how? Want to sell or want to buy? Okay. So let's look at the other reasons. Okay. Sorry about this. This is supposed to be not Top Glove. This one's supposed to be Penta. Okay, I apologize for that one. Okay. I forgot to remove it. So you can see Penta Master is rated 1 out of 8. Not fantastic. The ROE has dropped because they missed the last quarter. PE is 26 times. Okay. It's not Sharia compliance also, so you don't see that S here. It's overpriced. If you look at intrinsic value at 10% discounted rate, it's only 3 ringgit. Now, many people ask me, what is this Roby intrinsic rate? You can watch the video. But what it simply says that if you want 10% return from the stock, okay, 10% return from this stock called Penta, then the price should be $3. Okay, that's what it means. By the price should be $3 instead of $4.54. Okay, so it's overvalued. It can recommend a sell. Okay. Now, here are the top reasons for Penta Master buy. Okay. I have talked about the growth and the momentum stock on post-COVID, right? And every analyst is shouting a buy, right? They started to cover in there. The future prospect, in my opinion, looks pretty good. So 467. So which means tomorrow it takes out the 467. It's going to be a buy already. Or you buy at a pullback around 425, 430. And you can hold it for 2 weeks to 2 months, or you want to hold it for 2 years up. Medium target is $5 over there. Okay. Now, also top reason to avoid Penta is because it's overpriced. It's 26 times. The ROE is around 17% or close to 18, right? But the problem, it doesn't pay any dividend at all. Okay, if you have it, you want to exit tomorrow, take some partial profit or $5, or wait until rate Pentagon. Stop loss is around $4 in here, and then move on to GDEX as another stocks to look at transportation and logistics. Okay. So very important where we see the market is. Right now we are at this stage here. The KFCI here is this stage here. Despair to hope to relief. As the market go higher, I do think Penta has a chance. Just look at today. I posted QL2. I happened to pass by a truck carrying QLX and I say, wow, QLX today should make money. So early in the morning, it went up to 488. I think it went up 10%. But that was because it being included into the FBM 30. So right now it's 950, a bit overpriced if you ask me. So what I'm trying to see a lot of disparity in the KLCI stocks. Those who have growth overvalue. Those are like goner, like the oil and gas, because of the prospect going forward, they are undervalued in there. So maybe you have to put a bit of mix and match All right, between despair and overconfidence. Buy when there's a little bit of hope, but don't overpay. I find that maybe at Penta at this level still okay. Get some, but don't get the full overall, which means tomorrow. Don't wait for it to go for $5 first, huh? Right? And see it go from there. Because remember, we have to buy on slight bad news. They didn't do so well for that quarter. You don't want to buy when they do so well. Just like Kosan and Hata, where everybody buys, I don't want to buy. You know what I mean, right? If you know what I mean, give me a thumbs up. Okay? Now, of course, the best solution, I always say before, which I'll talk about every week, is become a smarter trader investor. Have a real system. Don't just follow the herbs. And those of you who really want to know how we do it, use the Smart Roby download. Download it. It's a rich feature in here. We use all our analytics from there, right? And don't forget to subscribe to the daily Roby report. Now, you can also use the link from the message in your Smart Roby app. There is an email and message. You can also get the daily Roby update, which is updated for me every morning. So it talks about those shares. Remember to download it and share, okay? And also our news analysis using the AI technology. We look for keywords that tell you positive or negative, right? And we have great review. If you felt that a Smart Roby done pretty well the last few days, please go over to fb.com Smart Roby review and give us a thumbs up and say something about us to feedback, because we constantly need feedback to make that apps better for you. I really appreciate that one in here. And also post MCO, salary cut, loss of income, many affected, no problem, right? Continue to watch us until end of the month. And remember, if those of you guys are ready to make the money, join our 12 months and 2 months promotion, which will end in another 1.5 hours more. So if you want to, just go and subscribe it and get the 2 months free. Of course, on the post MCO, the salary cut, this is where some of you want to learn how to master your future better by investment. We talk about CPO, which my coach Arif does every morning, try to make 200 to 300 ringgits based on CPO. And CPO is really moving. Just on the 100 points move today, we saw that, right? And because of India is buying. So there's a lot of opportunity there too coming for it. Then don't forget our 3-day masterclass with free attendance for 12-month coaching covers everything. Okay? Everything stocks, US, Malaysian stocks, the Roby fundamentals we will talk about, and also Zach will pick those stocks for you guys, so nothing to be missed off. All right, and that's the end of the Penta Master talk for today. Thank you for your time. I really hope that you guys enjoy tonight's presentation of Penta Master as much as I do presenting to you. If you have any questions, just pencil. Of course, don't ask me whether can buy a Penta Master. I leave it all to you. If you buy, like I did, I bought at 450 a few days back, because I have a longer view. I used to work in Intel, and I think no doubt a little bit of bad news is okay. But then again, it's a bit overpriced too. 26 times, not as overpriced as Top Glove. Top Glove is about 75 times PE. The other one, remember, we talked about Supermax was about 50 times PE, so it's not that expensive. So we always use a little bit of fundamental to decide whether the stock is overpriced or not, and then we use technicals for buy and sell signal in there. So that way you are fully covered by having a 360-degree stock analysis. And therefore tonight it's Penta Master. So thank you very much. Do share this video with your friends, and download Smart Roby, have not downloaded to, and share it with your friend so you get free credit too. Okay. So thank you for coming tonight. So don't miss us tomorrow night at 9:30, stock analysis and review by Zach for Thursday night and Friday. And next week I'll come back with a new topic, maybe not on stocks, maybe overall what our investor should do next week. So with that, I bid you tonight. Good night.